Peak Physique Project Day 4, here we go. Now, this is a 30-day bodybuilding blueprint as I introduced it initially. And that means everything that I'm going to talk about over the next 30 days or so is going to be designed to enhance your bodybuilding experience. However, you can use these same fundamental principles and this information to perform better on the field or improve your sports performance or generally feel better and live longer, be healthier, just look great in general. So for any type of physical goal, it's all going to work, but everything that I'm going to speak about is going to be really pushing towards that bodybuilding goal of just building more muscle and getting stronger and looking like a freak. With that in mind, today we're talking about the training aspect of the Fundamental 5, which is the training, nutrition, natural supplementation, recovery mindset. That's the Fundamental 5. And we're peeling back the layers of the training aspect so that we can start the process and get the most out of what you guys are trying to achieve in the gym. So in the world of teaching, Albert Einstein has a great quote. He talks about, if you can't explain something simply, you don't understand it well enough. So when I do teach these things, it comes across as fairly simple. And simple doesn't necessarily mean easy, but it does sometimes go over people's heads that it's that simple. And I like to break things down into its very rudimentary, basic, most fundamental parts. And that's what we're going to do here. So we're talking about training. If you look at all the styles of training, every single way that you train, whether you're training for bodybuilding, you're training for a mainstream sport, there's going to be the high intensity training philosophies and then the volume training philosophies. Now, it goes without saying, the high-intensity training philosophy is the way that I approach my bodybuilding experience and the way I teach my clients and help people get the result that they're looking for. It also goes without saying that high-intensity training philosophy does imply that you're going to have a high output of intensity and effort when you do train, and you're going to prioritize recovery in a more substantial way so you can build in the overcompensation in a more pronounced way so you can get the result faster and better from the muscle stimulation that you've applied during the workout. On the other side of it, every other training style that is not high intensity training based, meaning the fundamentals of high intensity, low frequency, low volume, progressive overload, prioritizing recovery, those type of things is all going to be in the volume training bucket. Now, Arthur Jones is famous for saying he's really the guy that popularized high-intensity training, not really the inventor of the philosophy of training hard, but, he really kind of codified it in a way that could give people an understanding you're going to have to train harder if you want to stimulate muscle growth. But that doesn't mean you need to do more often. You just need to do more while you're doing it and do it better. Or as we say here in Gainer's Paradise, do less better. And he's also very famous for saying you can train long or you can train hard, but you can't do both. So when we're talking about the high-intensity training philosophy and then the volume training philosophy, we see here the instant flaw of volume training, which is in order to complete your volume training, you have to train at a lower intensity. Now, if you look at that, if high-intensity training is your maximal output, volume training would imply that you have to be sub your maximal output. So in a way, volume training, I would kind of categorize it as a sub high intensity training philosophy. Sub high intensity training philosophy, versus a hit philosophy. So over the next handful of videos, we'll go over the nuanced information of what the high-intensity training philosophy includes and then how to execute it appropriately. But with that, if you have questions about the table, we don't need to go over everything, but if you have questions, comment below. Keep following along for more, as the next video will be more about the training topic of the Fundamental 5, training, nutrition,